Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Tonight is it's the end of an era. Um, I'm moving up to the big leagues. This channel is going to be specifically for actual true crime content. Any other tomfoolery will be done somewhere else. With that being said, we are having, or I'm having, just a shade of technical issue with getting Mr. Wells up here. So give me just a moment to thumb through that and get this link situated. Um, there you go. So Don, there's going to be the chat, the link right there in the chat. I'm going to pin it to the top. Go ahead and come on back now, Donnie, and we're going to run a little something. So here we go, guys. Thank you to AF Pennington for this design. She does the media design for the family.
How are you, sir? Hanging in there. Just praying for my daughter, bud. Go ahead and bring Mr. Wells on. Can you expound on that a little bit? Because I have not heard anything about that. I don't know nothing about that. I hate that we have to see each other again under these circumstances. That's what this is all about. Prayers. Thank you for all the support. I know Don has turned a lot of hearts around. Trying to do everything the best I can, you know. That was my whole life, was coming home to my kids. Prayers for Summer, prayers for everybody. God bless you, God.
There you have it. We have a very special guest this evening. Please throw some hearts in the chat for Mr. Wells, please. Hello, Donnie.
Hey.
How you doing, brother?
Oh, hanging in there. Best I can.
Hard day at work today?
I tried best I could.
Yeah. You got a little rest earlier?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So, did you get a chance to see that intro?
Yeah, a little bit of it.
Oh man, it's so great. Like there's such beautiful pictures of Summer in there and you, man, just completely awesome stuff.
Right.
So we have a format for this evening. We're going to try to keep it within 45 minutes or an hour. That's how we do. And the questions that we will be addressing tonight will be it'll be a list of questions designed by CM. He asked these questions late last week, and we're going to go ahead and address them today. So, Don, without further ado, buddy, I'm going to go ahead and pull these pictures or these questions up, and we'll run through them. Okay?
I'll try.
All righty, sir. Now, bullet point 1 and 2, they revolve around Mr. Tim Mullins, who, yes, is the Sandman. I hope that any of you that have found out that who Mr. Sandman was isn't mad at me because I had to protect his anonymity. So what I have pulled up here is if anyone has any questions about bullet point A or bullet point B, you can go to the findsummerwells.com site. and you can actually see a list of the affiliates and the sort of stations that Mr. Mullins is involved with. Now, as far as any of the design you've seen tonight or past designs, they have been arranged by the beautiful A.F. Pennington, Miss Felicity. If you have any questions about, again, any questions about the media or the PR stuff, you may slide on over to summerwells.com, findsummerwells.com, and you can see the media contact here, media@findsummerwells.com. And this is also going to give you a list of the publications where Summer has been showcased. So, moving on from bullet point 1 and 2, we're going to move to bullet point number 3. Now, Don, I've arranged just a piece of audio that will coincide with bullet point 3. If you can't see bullet point 3, it says talk about the 7 alibis. So before you do, I want to play this really quick, okay?
Okay.
I have 7 alibis. Candace, she's going down.
Okay. Can you please give us some clarity on that question, Mr. Wells?
Yeah, I think I was trying to joke around. You can tell I've been drinking for sure.
Absolutely.
And I was really just trying to joke around. I wasn't trying to be serious whatsoever. You know, I apologize. A lot of these people, they get on there and they act so serious, like, you know, they hang on every word that we say, and it's just trying to, you know, be amusing, I guess, but it didn't turn out that way. So I apologize for that.
No, I don't think that it's anything that necessarily needs an apology, because we are the ones that are looking into your life. And when you know, we butted in as a community and as a platform into your life, you know, during your unwind time. And you know, not to poke fun at Mr. Wells' situation, but Mr. Wells has been very upfront about the fact that he has had a little bit less of a grip on the alcohol in the recent past.
For sure.
And I think that it's very you know, it's very important and critical to point out that some of the things that have been what we would think to be key high notes in this case have been the whiskey talking. Is that right, Don?
Yes, sir. Yeah, you know,
So,
and I asked YouTubers for help. You know, I thought, I've never been on YouTube or thought much of it, but I did. I asked a lot of YouTubers for help, thinking maybe we could help find Summer, you know, initially.
So let me ask you, Donnie. We we know the last time you were online intoxicated. How long has it been since you've had a drink, Donnie?
I think, you know, 2-3 weeks. I'm not sure. I haven't been really keeping track. I've been working every day, so it's hard for me to keep track of anything. It's just
I have been kind of keeping track, and
good.
Yeah, I do believe that you're right at 12 or 13 days. So I do want to tell you, you know, I'm proud of you for that, because you know, I can't, I could never begin to imagine the pressures that you put on yourself and that the whole world is putting on you right now. So we have a little understanding about the 7 alibis. Don has said that was whiskey talking. And we do understand that it has been, let me look at that really quick. That was November 6th, the 5th or the 6th that Don has said that. And so that has been exactly 2 months from then till today. So I guess my point is that we can point out, I think definitively, that it was the whiskey talking, because after 2 months and you had 7 alibis and Candace had none, someone would be locked up, right?
Right.
Yeah. So you know, to kind of bring this into a scope where people could understand this a little more. Maybe they missed some parts of this. There were a few other times that Donnie had fun with the YouTubers, and those things were taken very seriously and blown way out of proportion, and made into something that they never were.
Right.
Now, the fourth bullet point, it says, preach that Candace has 0 and she's going down. We've covered that under bullet point 3, stating that this was, one of the whiskey talking situations. Now, as far as Candace is concerned, the sixth bullet point. I'm sorry about that, guys. The sixth bullet point here says, control Candace as she's going down. Now, in terms of what that applies to the 7 alibis, but I'd like to expound on that 6th bullet point a little bit and ask you. We've debunked the fact that there's 7 alibis and she has 0, but in terms of the control or the perceived control that Candace has during all of this, what would you care to interject about Candace's state during all of this?
Well, I mean, we were both, before Summer disappeared, I mean, we were pretty happy. I mean, just normal family, and this has tore us both apart, badly. She's brokenhearted. I've never seen Candace like this, or probably never seen myself like this. I've never dealt. Summer was the greatest blessing of my lifetime, and got to be with her for 5 years, and then she's just gone. So this has tore us both apart, really bad, and we're still tore apart. I mean, I don't know.
Do you think that watching your wife, the mother of your children, go through this, are you hopeful that there could be repair, no matter what the outcome be?
Well, I'm hopeful, but I watched her cry, every day. We both did for a good 5 months.
Yep.
I mean, the first week was the most horrific week. I mean, it's been bad. It's bad now. But
can you tell? I don't want to interrupt you, Donnie. I want to know something. When your daughter first went missing, were you angry?
I was scared.
Scared?
I was scared. I was scared for her life. I mean, anger. You go through different emotions. You're scared. One minute you might have some hope, and then the next minute you're thinking there's no hope. Somebody has her. They're beating her down. They're torturing her or killing her. Or then the next minute you might think, well, maybe somebody good has her and they're taking care of her, and maybe they love her, or but
and it turns quickly, doesn't it?
What's that?
It turns quickly. You might think one. I've been around you, and we've been talking, and it's like for 5 minutes we think this way, and then something exterior may poke the bear, and next thing you know, Donnie's thinking a whole different way in the next 5 minutes, and I can tell you that you may think that you can get a glimpse of Donnie's pain and Candace's pain via this YouTube, and I promise you that it is an impossibility.
Right.
Yeah, it is a virtual impossibility. Now, I want to touch on something else. There is a question here that says, maybe purchase more crack for TBI and FBI. Now, I don't think that that's a very tasteful question, in my opinion, coming from a revered law enforcement official. But I want to touch on that in the sense that you had made other whiskey comments referring to cocaine, correct?
Yeah, I probably have. Yeah.
I know definitively that I think the last, which was about 2 weeks ago, there was a statement made that you said you had purchase $2,000 worth of cocaine to prove you didn't have to sell your daughter to buy dope. That was whiskey talk or no?
Well, I mean, that's. I mean, I was going through a lot of emotion. I mean, people
Right.
were pretending on YouTube to be TBI agents or affiliated with TBI agents, and
So you were
you
just
just hear
saying
some
things and
stuff.
having fun, right?
Well, just I wasn't used to this YouTube thing at all, and the games that people play, and I took a lot of stuff seriously. I didn't know what to believe or what to think. My daughter just disappeared.
Right.
Here, I had my three sons there. I was worried for them. I mean, there was just so much emotion going on. I didn't know what to do. We had people sneak up on our property in the middle of the night, and just the police would come flying up the up the hill, and big grin on their face. We want you to come down and do more questioning, and you just, it's bad enough that your daughter's gone, and then all this other stuff's going on, and people are looking at you all crazy, and you're just an emotional wreck. You don't know if you're going to be what's going to happen from one second to the next.
Yeah.
You know, your wife's brokenhearted. Your boys are kind of blaming themselves because they didn't go downstairs with Summer. They're hurting, and it's just the whole family's just don't know what to do or what to think, or you know, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Can I
There,
ask you? I want to ask you a
yeah,
question really quick, and it's one that I've actually I've never had let me just say, I never had the balls to ask you,
uh huh,
because I think at the time it wasn't probably helpful or healthy to think about it, and it may be not now. And if you don't want to answer the question, I completely understand. But
right.
when Chris M came around, when he came, did he bring a lot of hope with him, or what was
Yeah,
the real?
we had hope, and he made it seem as though we're here to find Summer. This is what it's about. We didn't know, that he was being a snake and trying to make us look bad and undermine it. It was about Mr. McDonough and his YouTube channel and
Yeah.
making him look good and making us look bad. I'm sorry, but that's the way I see it. That's the way it's been. That's just the way it is.
He really hurt you,
Um,
didn't he?
yeah, he did. I mean,
Because I
well,
can see it, because there's been many a YouTuber come and go, and I can really tell that the reason I asked the question is because the only reason I could surmise that you would be as upset with CM as you would be is because he caused a lot of damage in your family, like furthered the damage, correct?
definitely. I wish Summer could see exactly what went on, and let Summer judge all that. I mean, I don't know. What would she think about the whole thing if she were here, or my boys, or any of that? I mean, our life. We had a pretty good foundation. We had a good home and family and everything. Going to church and trying to do right. I mean, we weren't perfect. Believe me, I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to say that, but we were happy. And then it's just like the carpet just got ripped right out from under our family and then some. And it's just been a total mess and wreck, and it's just been a whirlwind of chaos ever since Summer disappeared.
Was there a change in the law enforcement's um, the way they handled you while Chris was there? Did they handle you better or worse or indifferent? Was there sort of an air that Chris was assisting them in a way unofficially?
Well, I think at first everybody had a lot of hope in Chris M. He's an ex homicide detective. He's a good looking guy. You think his presentation is that he's there to help, and we're going to find Summer, and it just turned into a nightmare with him. And and I hope he learns from this. I'm not trying to put him down. I mean, I've made a lot of mistakes. None of us are perfect. I'm not trying to say that. I just hope that we all learn from this and move forward and try to help each other. Even Chris M. Um,
Yeah,
we can all do that.
you have always been very Christian in that sense. Although I know you've been
I'm trying.
very, very, very upset with some of the things that CM has designed and constructed on your family, but still you've kept that very Christ-like walk in terms of not wishing bad on him and still wanting, more understanding for him and all of that. And so I feel like, Don, that shows a real elegance about you that you probably shouldn't be possessing right now. Or if you didn't possess it, people would not, they wouldn't look at you any differently. But I know,
Well,
go ahead.
I have my moments too. Where I fell apart. I've gotten drunker in hell, and I've done a lot of stupid stuff. And so I'm not perfect, but I'm trying, and that's all any of us can do. I mean, I'm far from it, but I
That's
want to try. I want to continue to try, and I want everybody to try.
I want to ask you a really personal question,
Yes, sir.
and if I'd like for you to try to go a little deeper, maybe than we have gone or you have gone historically in the past. But
Uh-huh.
um, tell me what that church and what those people in that church has meant to your family during this time.
Well, I mean, that church. I mean, I got introduced to that church because I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's something that each and every one of us have to find out for ourselves. The different churches and what they stand for. There's a lot of fake churches out there. Um, that church is the remnant church from Christ's time. It's been
Absolutely.
in seclusion and hidden. In when the Romans, were killing these people, they went into hiding into the tunnel systems and stuff in, I guess in all over Europe and stuff. I guess
Hmm.
and I mean the Dead Sea Scrolls. They found them in these tunnel systems and stuff. And and the Bible's been brought out of obscurity. You know, Martin Luther and others, have gave their lives to bring that Bible to us. And we have the Bible. We have no excuse. We all have a copy of the Bible right there next to us somewhere. We have no excuse. We need to practice. We need to read that Bible. We need to understand it. All of us do. We need to take the
Absolutely.
time.
I want to where are we at here? Let me take a look at the time. We have to stay with the time. So we're about halfway through. What I want to do is let me put this back. Um, I want to go back and touch on one of the previous questions. One of the previous bullet points will include 3 and 4 together, but I want to show a clip that would basically nullify CM's 3 and 4 in terms of the 7 alibis and Candace having 0. Now, a little history on CM is that he worked for Escondido or Oceanside, whatever. But his physical position was a voice stress test analyzer, which is much the same science as the polygraph science. So um, we had an individual, an investigator in CM that very early on had no knowledge of the outcome of the tests. So I want to go over this clip really quick, and this clip is going to be Dr. Phil with the behavioral panel people. And what I want you to do when you watch this clip is I want you to keep all of these bullet points. There's 8 bullet points here. Keep all of these 8 bullet points pursed on the front of your mind while you watch this clip, okay?
That's what we're seeing. Do you understand that we're saying we don't suspect you of doing something wrong?
Yes, I understand that.
It's important to me that you understand that.
Yes, I understand that.
You guys pass polygraphs. I've just the logistics of this thing. It just does not point to you. And if investigators pointing it to you, they're not doing the math. It just doesn't make sense. What I'm saying is, I think you know more than you're telling, and that may be more than you're consciously acknowledging. You may know things you don't know you know. Maybe it's too horrible to think about, but you've got to cut through that, because you do react to certain things that suggest at some level you know something more than you're giving a voice to. And it's hard for me to say you need to tell us what you don't know. Because that's,
But if I knew, then I could
know
tell
that's
you.
what I'm saying. It's like I'm telling you to
You
say,
go,
tell me
Candace.
what you don't know. And you say, well, how can I tell you if I don't know? And I'm saying you've got to be willing to take.
I just want to say for a moment that although I really appreciate, and we all appreciate, this synopsis and this thesis from Dr. Phil, but you know, I do get a little hung up on this part with the, you know, you're knowing something you don't know. Is it possible? It is possible. Is it probable? At this point, no, it's not probable.
Your guards down and think through if there's anything that you're pushing out of consciousness, if there's anything that you're just not willing to acknowledge. We need your help to find your daughter. I guarantee you when this is solved, and it's going to be solved.
We guarantee it's going to be solved.
Mhm.
Right? You heard that, Donnie, right?
Yeah, I think only God can solve this one, buddy.
I think you're absolutely right. I'm going to play just a little bit more, and then we're going to move over to something else really quick.
This isn't going to be a stranger. This is going to be somebody you know, somebody you've crossed paths with somewhere, somehow, in my opinion. It's a matter of you're going to find it out when they're caught, or you're going to find it out because you go back through and do an inventory and figure out everything you could possibly figure out.
Now, that brings me to the final bullet point. CM has made he's made a connotation that Candace, that Don and Candace have not searched for Summer. Before we go into that, though, I want to take a short break, and I want to give some notoriety where notoriety is due. So, really quick, we're going to.
How are you, sir? Hanging in there. Just praying for my daughter, buddy.
Go ahead and bring Mr. Wells on. Can you expound on that a little bit? Because I have not heard anything about that. I don't know nothing about that. I hate that we have to see each other again under these circumstances. That's what this is all about. Prayers. Thank you for all the support. I know Don has turned a lot of hearts around.
Trying to do everything the best I can, you know. That was my whole life, was coming home to my kids. Prayers for Summer, prayers for everybody. God bless you, God.
Okay. I want to say one other thing. I want everyone to take a moment, and I want you to say a prayer. Put some blue hearts in the chat, please, for the wonderful, beautiful Felicity A.F. Pennington.
Yes.
She's responsible for a lot of this great media and design that you're seeing. Now, Don, with that being
Yes,
said,
sir.
please let me finish. Miss Pennington is a long haul COVID victim. She contracted COVID roughly a year ago, and she has been essentially bedridden. It is affecting all aspects of her life, with her children, with her finances, her career, and even with her sickness. This woman cannot get out of bed, but every single day, I don't want to say slaves, but she slaves over this art that she does, and she has a way of bringing Don's daughter into a light that you can't even really see in a picture. And so, everyone, please put those hearts in the chat for AF. If you're not already currently subscribed to AF, please take a moment and go over and check her out. She is one heck of an artist. Now, with that being said, please put some roses in the chat too. Sorry. Now, with that being said, the last bullet point here, Don, it says not searched for summer. Now, that in fact isn't true, is it, Don?
No, sir.
Now, you were involved in some physical searches. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Now, every single place you drive, every single day, every car that goes by, every desolate looking place on the side of the road, what are you looking for when you drive, man?
Summer.
You're
There's
always
summer everywhere.
searching for summer, aren't you?
Yes.
Do you ever stop searching for summer, Don?
No, sir. Never.
Have you ever, during this situation, ever stopped searching for summer?
No. Maybe if I was passed out drunk or in hell, maybe.
But even then,
No.
you're having dreams about her, aren't you?
I haven't really. I've only had.
The
To be
one or
honest
two?
with you, I've only had 2 dreams about her, and I don't understand that. But they were beautiful dreams.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
The last one I had. Yeah.
tell me about the last one, Don.
The last one, it was almost like I was a drone or something, but she was just running in a field with Johnson grass, and she just had that big smile on her face, and she was just running, and I went by her, and I kind of was looking back on her and going up in the air, and she was just running with that big smile on her face, and that was it.
Oh. Have you ever felt pain like this in your life, Don? Anything even close?
Not to this extent. Pretty bad, but not this bad. No.
Like this is the pinnacle, isn't it?
She's the most wonderful gift I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah, you know, Don, as I sit here and I look at these bullet points here, I'm looking at 8 bullet points of I don't want to say a smug man, but a man that ought to know better. That man is far too smart to come up with questions like these that we already know all the answers to. And to me, that's really a testament to the leadership of the true crime community here. And I want to say that I'm proud to call Don my friend, my close friend, and my brother in Christ, because
Same here.
yes,
Same
Don,
here.
you have enriched my life, and I know that there's probably many people out there that will make fun of me for that, and it makes me know never mind, because if I could tell you the grace and the elegance in my life that I have learned by being associated with Don, it's been unimaginable. This has been a journey for me that has been like a niece has been missing, or whatever. Like I feel the full brunt that I feel that I should be feeling, and for that I'm proud too, because I can honestly sit here and I can say that at the end of this, I made a promise to you and your family that I would not fail you, and I have not.
All right.
And
Oh,
I'm proud of that. I'm proud of my performance on the hill, off the hill, and I just want to say, Don, that I find it's a wondrous journey being associated with you and watching you go through this in real time, not the things that we see on YouTube. I'm seeing a very beautiful souled Donald who is doing the best that he can. And he's working with the tools that he had in his tool belt emotionally. But I think that we all know that Don, like so many of us, Don is broken and fractured. Don's a broken human being. We all are. But Don has
yeah.
an added extra fracture to his life, Candace, as well. And I just, I'm really downtrodden in the fact that you could be going through your most critical moment in life, and that people, people can find jest in that. I'd like to give you an opportunity, Don, to kind of explain, if you would, how
Yeah.
some of these pieces of media that you have seen have hurt you.
Well, I'd like to apologize first for not doing better, being a better representative of a Christ-like figure. I could have done a lot better. I've blown up on people. I've cussed. I feel bad about that. I wish I could have done better, but I will keep trying. But yeah, there's a lot of evil stuff out there. People really try to hurt you, but there's good. There's a lot of good people. Thank goodness, thank God for that, for the good people. Because without that, I mean, if you
Let
just
me ask you
focus
this,
on that
Don.
bad,
Is the good that you found here, does it even closely weigh up to the bad you've seen here?
well, I think a lot of the good people are smart enough not to get involved with YouTube, but there are a lot of good out there, and I sure appreciate all you guys, and for for the bad, you know, just please try to turn your life around and try to see good in people and see good in yourself, and let's work together, as human beings, and try to work towards a common goal. I mean, you're, all of our eternal lives are at stake. Um, you know, are we in the book of life? Is your name written in the book of life? Is my name written in the book of life? I'm not so sure here lately. I haven't been doing a very good job. I need to
You,
do better.
you know what, Don? You
Uh,
are you are in the walk of a man that's that's trying to find Christ the best he understands, right? Like there is no perfect Christian walk. And I think that
well,
I
I
think that
think I think
go ahead.
I think we're all capable of keeping the commandments. We are. We're capable of doing this. We'll stumble here and there, but we can. Every one of us can be in the book of life if we try.
Absolutely.
It's a personal choice, and I want to do better. I want to see my little girl and my kids and my brothers and my sisters when we leave this evil world. And this
Absolutely.
world's just going to keep getting more evil as we go on. You can see it every day. It's just getting worse and worse. It ain't
Absolutely.
like when we grew up, when we were kids, and our parents all went to church. It was the 70s and 80s. It was a lot more Christian than it is today.
Yeah. Have you let me ask you a question, Don. Have you
Yeah.
ever spent a holiday away from the kids since they've been born?
No.
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 And so you go from spending every holiday with the boys in Summer and Candace to having your
Yeah.
first holiday with no children, no little steps in the house, right?
Yes, sir.
That had to have been really hard, wasn't it?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I say, this world's tough, and everybody's got their own things going on. Everybody's suffering one way or the other. We all have our challenges, you know.
Absolutely.
So we got to help each other. We got to help each other.
Absolutely. Let me find here. There is one other thing that we needed to take care of. Don, I just leave the floor open to you, buddy. Is there anything that you have any burning desires? Anything that you want someone to say or I mean to hear or something you want to have said? You have the floor to say whatever you want, buddy.
I just want to pray for everybody, and like I was saying, try to pull together and support each other to try to do your best to be in the book of life, to have your name written in the book of life, because that judgment's going on right now. When Christ comes back, them judgments are already made. Them things are being decided now. So we need to strive to all be in the book of life and help each other out and pray for each other and love each other. And I appreciate all y'all's love and support. Thank you.
Absolutely,
I
Don.
wish. I wish there.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I wish we could find Summer. I wish there was a way, but I think it's out of our hands. It's in God's hands. The police have done everything they can do. They searched for 2 weeks straight. They had helicopters constantly, every day, airplanes all night long. I mean, whoever took her far away from here fast.
So you mean
only
you
God
actually
can help.
you actually would be in your house, laying down in your bed, and you would hear the airplanes going overhead, searching for your daughter?
Some of them, well, yeah. I mean, we watched them for a long time. For the first 2 nights, when this first happened, me and Candace didn't sleep at all. The police stayed right outside our door for a week and a half. They stayed up there on our property with us. I could go outside in the middle of the night and talk to them and say, you need some coffee or whatever. They was right there for a week and a half or so. So heavy police presence, helicopters all day long. I'd go and drive around and talk to them and say, hey, I got to know quite a few of them, a little bit, but they searched hard. But I figured right away, that she was put into a car and drove away as soon as it happened. That's what I figured, and I still figured that. I still think that. But the police figured she walked away, but I made sure she wouldn't do that.
Yeah, she definitely had instructions to not go down the hill, and that the
Right.
older boys were allowed to go down the hill, but they had to have the walkie-talkie and the pocket knives, right?
All that, yes, sir.
Yeah.
And that's just like when I drove home that day, as fast as I could. When I drove down there on that bottom property and I looked straight ahead, all 3 of my boys were together, just as they were taught.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Did the boys? I don't want to go into that. Don, it's so hard. Even my performances from day to day haven't met the mark, and
we all fall short.
We do.
Yeah.
I really want to take this opportunity to apologize to you for anything that was not graceful of myself during all of this. And I also,
Same here.
yeah, I
Same
want
here.
to apologize on the behalf of of the other YouTubers that will never apologize to you because it wasn't supposed to be like this, you know?
And I want to apologize for my downfalls too.
Absolutely.
You know.
Well, we're at 45 minutes. Before we close out here, I have been instructed to read a portion from findsummerwells.com, the blog. This is how you YouTube creators, including myself, how we can actually help. This is how a YouTube creator who truly supports Summer can assist in finding her. 1 second. Let me move this over so everybody can see it. It should be on every show that mentions the case. 1, always show her picture throughout your YouTube cast. The pictures available to share are the approved ones on the website. Those are the ones that have been used in the Amber Alerts, and those are the ones we want distributed. We do not need you to go through the Facebook and find something you think is cute. We need the law enforcement approved pictures from this website. Always promote the website, findsummerwells.com. The website has the information the public needs to assist the citizens in maybe seeing her somewhere, reporting the sighting to the TBI, and thus leading to Summer's rescue. Number 3, you can promote the flyers link on the website during each YouTube cast. Flyers of Summer Wells can be downloaded, printed, and shared. I do want to emphasize again, number 1 is number 1 because it's number 1. We ask that you please continue to share Summer Wells's images, but we ask that you please share the law enforcement approved photos from this website. Okay, that should not be a really difficult thing to adhere to. There is a reason we need the law enforcement approved photos in circulation, because that's the ones that have been seen on the billboards and so on and so forth. So, you know, I just, you know, I cannot stress enough the dire situation of this tragedy, and that we need to do better. We know better, and we can do better. And I want to be the change that I want to see. Right. So let me wrap up here with the family approved. Okay. So Donnie, I want to tell you, brother, I love you, and I appreciate you for coming out. I appreciate
Love
you
y'all
this evening. I know it's cold there. You got snow. And so this is yet further proof of the commitment to keep Summer's name and image and story alive. So with that being said, Don, I'm going to go ahead and cut you loose. Drive safe, brother.
Okay.
And I will.
Prayers to everybody.
I will talk to you, Donnie, when we get through, Bella.
Okay. Love y'all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
So, there we go. I hope that this was informative. I really want to send a special shout out to A.F. Pennington. I also want to give a very special shout out to the Sandman. As you all know him as Mr. Tim Mullins. I want to close this segment. This has not been pre-approved, and I hope that I don't fucking cry. Here I go. I have watched people tear Tim Mullins to shreds, back and forth and to and fro. And let me tell you what. Tim Mullins is my friend. Tim Mullins is my family. And when I see what they try to do to my friend Tim, it hurts bad. It hurts very bad because Tim is one of the better men that I have ever met in my life. Sorry about that. Um, it kills me to watch these people that have nothing better in their life than to rip up Tim Mullins. I was saying that I'm actually, in a selfish way, very glad that most of you people will never get to meet Tim Mullins. Because, in my opinion, you just don't deserve to be blessed by the presence of a man with that kind of substance. So, when you attack me, you attack Tim, you attack Don, you attack the boys, you attack Summer. And when you attack any one of those other people, you attack me. Right? Those are my people now. And clearly, after almost 7 months, it does not matter to me what anyone says. And in fact, it's people all over the internet trying to tell me what they think they know about my friends that they are all wrong about. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this segment. I think that there's some takeaways and some things to unpack from this. CM, I hope that this reaches you well, sir. This was not meant in any way to ridicule you, sir. This is just what it is, man. God bless you, CM. I hope you have a happy new year. God bless the Sandman. God bless Don, Candace, Waylon, Wyatt, Josie, Summer, Miss Candace, Candy. I'm not going to go down through the dog names, but when you turn your YouTube off tonight, when you get done commenting something nasty, remember that Don and Candace, they're laying in their bed, staring at the ceiling, wondering when their babies are coming home. I'm going to close with that. I want you guys to always remember the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. God God bless you guys.
How are you, sir?
Hanging in there, just praying for my daughter, buddy.
Go ahead and bring Mr. Wells on. Can you expound on that a little bit? Because I have not heard anything about that. I don't know nothing about that. I hate that we have to see each other again under these circumstances. That's what this is all about. Prayers. Thank you for all the support. I know Don has turned a lot of hearts around.
Trying to do everything the best I can, you know. That was my whole life, was coming home to my kids. Prayers for Summer, prayers for everybody. God bless you, God.